Hi, this is the second in our poetry videos, and in this video I'll be focusing on what a connotation is and how you understand how to read connotations in a poem. So without further ado, I'll start sharing straight away. This one will be slightly shorter than the other one because connotations don't require much explaining and they should come quite naturally to you when you're reading, but you might not know what the word connotation means. So last video you did understanding tentative language, so we can tick that off the list now. That you understand how tentative language works, and you should have looked at the two poems that I set, Proximity and You Saved Me, in order to create your own tentative judgments before you watch this video. Now, connotations are associating emotions and feelings with words. So they can be either positive, neutral, or negative, and are often unique to the reader. So for example, if you look on the side here, a little table, the idea of thin, unusual, or forceful may have no real connotation because you could argue either way. A positive connotation, though, might be slender, extraordinary, or assertive. That, if you're an assertive person, you're not necessarily evil or mean, but you know exactly what you want, and that has a more positive idea. The same as extraordinary. Rather than saying someone's unusual, if you call them extraordinary, that would be a much more positive connotation. However, on the opposite side of it, you've got domineering, which has quite a negative connotation to it, because if you call someone domineering, it's like they always have to be in control. And the same way, instead of calling someone extraordinary, if you called them bizarre, that again has quite a negative connotation, that you think that they're far too unusual. So those are just unique ideas you might have with words. So for example, a little while ago, we looked at a poem called Nighthawks, and the idea of hawks, you could have quite a few connotations regarding that. So if you have a look at the connotations I've got from hawk, we might get freedom, which is quite a positive thing. Then you've got predator, you've got wild, flight, prey, bird eye view, skittish, driven, precise. All of these things have different connotations and different ideas. You might think of hawks quite positively, whereas someone next to you might think of it negatively. And that's what links back to our tentative language, is using tentative language when it comes to connotations. When you connotate something, you read into it and think of what kind of feelings you get and associate with that kind of thing. So, thinking about the poem titles, Proximity and You Saved Me, have a go at picking out some connotations from there, and then look back at the two poems and think, is there anything here that I have some connotations from? So what connotations do I get from burning bridges or walking tracks, or when they say, my heart I wrapped up tightly? What kind of connotation do I get from that? That soothing word, perhaps, naivety, tears trailing down my cheeks. What connotations do I get from those ideas? So I'll leave you with that. And again, you can start ticking off the idea of a connotation straight away, because that's a really easy one to remember. So thank you very much for listening. And I'll be back with the next video, which will be techniques and their impact, which will be a bit longer because we're going to talk through techniques and how you should appropriately talk about them in your poetry assignment. Thank you.